Okay, so this is my Dell Latitude D600. I know. I don't like Dells, but I didn't even have to pay for this one. I traded my Dell Optiplex GX280 for this laptop. I found this laptop on Kijiji, and the guy wanted a desktop computer. Well, a person like me, I have tons of computers around here, and the GX280 was the first thing to come to mind. Since I had no idea what I was going to do with it, I thought, well, maybe he would like it. So, it was a done deal. He gave me this laptop, and also gave me this Asus motherboard. He said it came from a server. I don't know, maybe it did, I don't know. All I know is it takes SATA drives and IDE drives. Takes both. Has 4 USB ports, Ethernet port, the multimedia jacks. I think that's a FireWire port right there on the top USB port. Printer port, serial port, and a video in AV jack, and PS2 ports for the keyboard and mouse. I don't know how many gigahertz the processor has, but it looks pretty advanced too. Like, the board itself may look like an old Windows 95 motherboard, but you know, it looks pretty high tech. I don't know what the hell I'm gonna do with it. I'll probably find some use for it, probably in 2 or 3 years, depending if I get all the parts I need. So anyway, back to this Dell. Now, I'm gonna say this, and I always say this: every time when you get something such as a computer or a laptop, there is always going to be a problem with it. No matter what computer you get. Like, if you buy a brand new one, sure, it's going to be fine, it's going to work, but probably in a few months or so it's going to end up having a problem. Well, I got this computer. The guy told me it came with a 40 gigabyte hard drive. You guys tell me if this thing has a 40 gigabyte hard drive. Let me just get the magnifier out, because I'm seeing something here and it doesn't look right. Magnifier. Okay, gotta minimize this dumb window. One second. The capacity of it is only 37.2. So that's kind of close to 40 gigs, but not that close. I checked the computer's BIOS and it says it has a 40 gigabyte drive. It's not 40 gigabytes, it's 37.2. So there might be something wrong with the BIOS, or it's just probably giving a rough estimate of how many gigs it has. There's another issue with this computer. The guy told me that the battery lasts for 2 hours. And I thought, wow, that's as long as any computer I've ever had. You know? My Toshiba Satellite A60, the battery only lasts for an hour, probably an hour and a half. This one only lasts for 15 minutes. If I unplug the cable right now, it's going to stay on for 15 minutes, but if I use it for a certain period of time, the backlight turns off. because the computer is saving power. I can still see stuff on the screen, but it's kind of impossible to work when the backlight's off. So it has to stay plugged in at all times, just to prevent the screen from turning off and the battery from dying. Small pain in the ass, but not bad. Another issue with this thing. A piece of the hinge attached to the screen broke right off. So every time if someone comes by and grabs the computer by the screen, he's going to pull it right off. This thing right here, this plastic piece, unlatches, and the screen is only held on by this hinge. Yeah, it's only held on by that one piece right there. Like, not this plastic piece, but on the inside. So, gotta be careful when you're handling this laptop. If someone comes by and takes the screen right off, they're gonna have to buy me a new one. Another issue. I'm just going for the negatives first and then going to the positives. The mouse pad is very, very tricky sometimes. When I click on something, such as this box, if I take my finger off and then put it back on, it still holds on to that. So I'm going to lift my finger off. I'm lifting my finger off and it should just let go. So in order for it to stop holding onto the box, I have to tap. That's all I have to do, is just tap, so that way I can drop it. Even when I drag an icon. Tap. So that way it drops it. So I don't use the mouse pad as much because it's a pain in the ass when I'm on the internet. So I use the track point. Now here comes the positives. The cool thing I didn't know about the track point is it's like the mouse pad. When you tap on something and drag a box like this, tap again, there we go. When you tap the track point, it drags the window. Who needs mouse pads when you have the track point? That's cool. And it opens my computer. Wow, I never knew that worked on these things. My favorite tools are the volume up and down controls. Yep, I went to Dell.com and installed all the drivers. So that's good. Dell 0304 had a Dell Latitude D500, sorry. And the D500 is an older model. And the only difference between this one and the D500 is the layout. My computer has the left and right buttons and the track point. And it has the volume up and down and mute button. The D500, on the other hand, doesn't have these features. I checked on the internet, and the D600 and the D500 have the exact same specs. The hard drives are the same. The processors are the same. Well, kind of. This one has a 1.44 gigahertz processor, and it said that the D500 had a 1.33 gigahertz. But the processors are made by the same company. Let's see what this one says. says Centrino. I think that's what it's called. Intel Centrino. And the D500 had 512 megs of RAM. This one has the exact same amount. So there's nothing really different about the D500 and D600. They're both the same. They're practically sisters. So that's weird. I don't know why Dell just added these features but didn't change the specs that much. But anyway, I love this laptop. Doesn't mean I love Dells. I still have that hatred towards them ever since that incident with my school laptop. It wasn't my laptop, it was a school computer. It was a Dell Latitude something, I can't remember the model number. But it was the biggest pain in the ass I've ever encountered with. The battery, it was 100% okay, but every time when you unplug the power adapter, it'd make 2 beeps and then shut off. And it caused me to lose some work on it that cost me my mark. So, yeah, it sucks to lose a mark on something that you worked on for a long time. So that's why I really hated that laptop, and that's what made me hate Dell computers. But this one hasn't pissed me off yet. The only thing that pisses me off is that I was ripped off by believing that the battery lasted for 2 hours and that the mouse pad has a few issues. But other than that, it's a very decent computer with a metal screen. I didn't mention that, but this screen is made of metal. You can see the silver right there, and yeah, it's cold. Huh. I guess Dell did a good job on their screens after all. I guess they would have, because a screen this thin can definitely break. Oh yeah, that's definitely metal. I could see a dent in there. I've never seen a laptop with a metal screen before. Well, except for those Tough books. The Panasonic Tough notebooks. But this is a really cool Dell computer. I'm just going to use it for basic stuff, or if I have any visitors coming over, I can let them use it. And yeah, that's it. So thanks for watching, everybody. If you have any questions about this laptop, let me know. I would give this laptop probably a 3-star rating. Yeah, 3 stars for this laptop.